Hi there, my name is Bryce Fender. I'm the co-founder of Wilminvest.
What is Wilminvest? Because you're getting a lot, you're doing a lot in the community.
Thank you. Yeah.
I see you've been working really hard. But for somebody who's never heard of Wilminvest before, how do you describe it?
So, Wilminvest is the story of the traditional fixer-upper meeting social innovation. When we describe our process and our team as social impact real estate investing, I met my co-founders, Joel and Demetrius, back when we were 13, 12, 14 years old, something like that, back at Conrad School of Science in middle school. And, growing up together, we always knew we had a lifelong passion to do good things in our community, but we'd also been talking about starting a business since we were like 15. And one thing led to another. Joel and I ended up at University of Delaware together, Demetrius at the University of Pennsylvania, and Joel and I took this class, Startup Experience, taught by one of our greatest mentors, Finn Staples, called Startup Experience. And that taught us about evidence-based entrepreneurship, how to start with a problem and really build a business model from there. And so using that evidence-based entrepreneurship process, we went from being like an app to a trash company to sort of a concept that took vacant properties in the city of Wilmington, fixed them up, and then rented them to organizations in the city of Wilmington that help families experiencing homelessness. So at the end of the day, really that has been our core business model. It took a long time, like 2.5 years, to actually get the pitch down, get the business model down, go out, raise some funds, buy the houses, and have the right relationships to make it work. But I'm happy to say, just about 4 months ago, back in June, we moved in our first round of families into 3 houses on the northeast side of Wilmington.
Wow. Congrats, man.
Yeah, no, I
that's
appreciate
a big move.
that.
No, that's a really big move. And like going from taking a class in college, you're a senior now, right?
Super senior. Finishing.
You're a senior. You're a senior. Every super senior always says that. They're like, I'm a super senior, but like you should take pride in that.
Yeah.
Like take pride in the amount of time that you have spent in school.
I will be done in December. It's like another 5 or 6 weeks.
No, that's cool, man. That's cool. But yeah, to see how far you've gone from taking a concept that, like you said, started as an app, right? It started as like an idea that you thought could be successful, and you went through this process, right? One of the principles we have in the First Founders Accelerator is trust the process,
right?
And it's all about evidence-based entrepreneurship, just like you're saying. It's about understanding that the more you go out into the world and you talk to your target customers and end users and beneficiaries and learn about their needs and their wants, then you design your solution around that, and that's how you become a successful entrepreneur.
Of course.
So y'all are doing it. Y'all are doing the thing.
Well, that's what the folks over at Horn and a lot of other mentors that we've had, including our parents, told us.
No, absolutely. So here at DBT 40, right, is there anyone that you met for the first time tonight that inspired you, or is there anything that you learned tonight that you're going to take home and it's really going to help you push forward with your mission in building Wilminvest?
No, it was really cool to see the fact that there were business leaders, achievers, innovators at companies big and companies small.
Right.
And that just shows that every day when we go to work, we go to school, we do whatever, we're solving problems. And I think that society, the media, general school has taught us to sort of not really realize that. At least, I didn't really understand that until Horn. We started doing all this stuff. I learned that, and really saw with my own eyes, that no matter what position you have, no matter where you are in your life, no matter how old you are, if you do your best to solve a problem meaningfully, and in a unique way, you can have any kind of impact you want in the world. But it just starts with how you choose to tackle every problem that comes at you.
Yep. I agree. Another principle that we have, or thing that I like to say, is lift as you climb as well, right? So do you have any examples? I heard a little bit in your bio about things that you've done previously to help lift as you climb while you're going through your entrepreneurial journey. You're learning, you're growing, you're becoming a successful entrepreneur. What types of things do you do to give back and bring people up with you?
Everybody will tell you, you read this all everywhere, but you become, take your 5 best friends, and that is who you are. That is who you are. And something that I have been very lucky is to have been really, really good friends with some awesome people. Like my two co-founders, they were some of my best friends growing up and going through high school. I'm one of my best friends since 8th grade, Moises Velasquez. You know, he was in the first cohort of Forest Founders.
That's right. That's right.
And I just, when you fail and when bad things happen, if you have a core friend group, a core family members that really get it and understand that you can go back to, I mean, hey, that's everything. Because I'll be honest with you, my first venture called the Red Clay Interscholastic Student Government, that failed. It failed because I held on to my own idea. My tie was too tight. My tie to my own idea. And honestly, I was not happy at the end of it, but I was really thankful because Joel, you know, co-founder with Wilminvest, and Demetrius, they actually helped pull me up and get me out of that rut and said, hey, there's an opportunity here. Let's work together on something.
That's amazing.
So yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what you just said, right? So you had ties to your initial idea, right?
Yeah.
And there's a sort of like a sign in the Venture Development Center at UD,
Right.
that whenever you're in that center, you see that every single day. And there's literally ties on the wall.
Yeah.
And over top it says rule number 1. All ties must be loosened or removed. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people go into the BDC and they start taking their actual ties off if they're wearing a tie, right? But it's a metaphor for exactly what you just said. It's about being open to change. It's about being open to being, you know, iterative. And as you learn more about what the wants and needs of your problem owners are, that's what's going to help you build a successful company, because you're going to build a solution that people actually want, right? So you going through the process, being open to that, knowing that, hey, I have to loosen my ties to my initial like preconceived notions and my ideas I've already come up with. That's awesome that you figured that out, because a lot of people really struggle with that.
Yeah.
They really do.
Well, I wouldn't say I figured it out.
No.
I think I learned it by trial and error.
Absolutely.
You know, because I mean, just thinking back to my first venture, I mean, we had a team of like 30 kids all going together, and there were conflicts. There were things that were wrong with the organization, but I, as the leader, I didn't want to change. You know, I didn't want to move, and there was tension, and there was power struggles. At the same time, you know, we were really young.
Yeah.
Excuse me, we were like 15. And it wasn't monetary. There was no real business model. It was just an organization. But like, you know, if I didn't do that, have that experience, I wouldn't have really known that I needed to loosen my own ties. I needed to let go of ideas. I mean, that's just life.
Yeah.
That goes back to, you know, every day you can choose to solve a problem in a unique way. I mean, hey, failing is a problem. How do you choose to tackle it?
How do you respond? That's tough. Wow. All right, man. So let's keep it 100, right? You just won Delaware Business Times 40 Under 40. What's next? What else? What is left at that point?
What is next? So I'll be done school here in December, and so me, Joel, Demetrius, we're taking a look at what is next for Wilminvest. We understand that, you know, we don't know everything there is to do with social impact real estate investing. We're not giving up on Wilminvest, but what it looks like is we're gonna get some positions with some other organizations to really learn more about what we need to. You know, I need to study social impact. I need to figure out aspects of case management, social work. You know, so I've been talking back and forth with some organizations to do work in the social service field, to in actually helping tenants find housing and go through the transformation process of experiencing homelessness to owning a home. So we're going to be doing that while also working in our own company, while also identifying new properties, while also working through what's called the continuum of care, which is essentially the array of organizations and programs that help anything from experiencing homelessness to home ownership, and figuring out, you know, taking steps back to figure out what problems do we need to solve? What is the true problem? So I mean, a lot of entrepreneurs will come out and tell you, you have to quit your job, you have to do this full time, you have to do yada yada. And don't get me wrong, like that's not like, you know, you're saying I'm coming right out of college and doing Wilminvest full time. Like, yes, that would be great, but at the same time, be real with ourselves. There's other things that come up.
Absolutely.
And that's just part of the journey.
Yeah.
You know, it's another problem. What are we gonna do with it?
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that, for one.
No,
because a lot of people are gonna like pretend like everything is all good, right? So it's very important to like share your current challenges. And right now you're in a growing stage,
Yeah.
right? You're challenging yourself to learn more about the problem, right? And you want to go out and actually get the experience that's going to help you solve that problem in the best way.
Yeah.
And right now that means working on Wilminvest, but also going to an existing company or organization and bringing all the skills that you've developed through building your own startup, taking it to them and say, hey, this is how I can create value for you. And then saying, all right, while I'm at this company, right, I'm going to be gaining all this new experience because I've never been in this role before or this type of opportunity. And then I'm going to take that and apply that to what I want to do with my own startup. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
I believe whatever organization you go to, you're going to be an entrepreneur. Like they're not going to be able to contain you because you're going to be like, hey, like there are problems to solve here. We can make like greater impact. You're all about impact and actually helping the community. So I think that's absolutely amazing too.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, it's it's you can work as hard as you want to work. You know, if you really just want to do all your work from 9 to 5, that's fine. But I have it in my own heart, my own vision, and I don't see it any other way. You know, we just go full force all the time, and one day it will happen because there is. Don't get me wrong, Wilminvest, there is a lot in the pipeline. We're working with some opportunity zone funds. We're working with some, community development financial institutions. Working with folks that have housing. Our customer, the state of Delaware, they just ordered 10 more houses.
Wow.
So like I think I don't mean to say that like we're not going full force with it.
Right.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
No, you're incredibly successful. Like you're growing.
Hey, as are you.
I appreciate it. We're all challenging ourselves to continue to grow.
Yeah.
Right. So in this growth stage, like you really do have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. This whole thing is very, very uncomfortable.
Oh, it's you walk down the street and go. You'll hang out with some friends on a Friday night. You'll see people. How's Wilminvest? How's Wilminvest?
Oh my.
How's Wilminvest? How's every single? And I'm not saying this to complain. I'm very, very lucky to have the friends, the family, the support that I've had to even get to this phase with the startup. Yeah. To the point where people would ask me that a lot. Yeah. But it's like you said, it's a lot of hard work. And it's there's no giving up, and that's exactly the point.
Absolutely. Oh man, I was with family the other day, and somebody said, "How's business?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
where do I start?
I don't know.
Like, what about? I don't know how to answer your question.
Right.
Yeah.
I literally did not know how to answer that question.
Yeah.
I didn't want to like disappoint the person who asked me the question, or I didn't want to disappoint my family. But it was one of those real moments where like business is not good, right? Like it's like I'm struggling right now.
Well, you gotta have Vince always says it. Winston Churchill's quote: "Failure is not final. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to." One more time.
Yeah, you got it.
Success is not final. Failure is not fatal, but it is the courage to continue that counts. And Vince will always say, "Do you have the courage to continue?"
Yeah.
And that goes back to exactly what we're talking about. Do we have the courage to be real with ourselves? Because the easiest person just to lie to is yourself. And if you keep lying to yourself, you're building this false sense of reality in the back of your head. Yeah. And then ties must be loosened or removed. Your tie has to be loose enough to be able to look truth in the face. And that sets you up to fail.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth. And people inherently do not like the truth. It's just a very, very. You have to train your mind.
Yeah.
You have to train your tongue. You have to train your ears to adapt to hearing truth, hearing bad truth as an opportunity.
Yeah. That is a drop the mic moment, my friend. I don't know what else is left to say after that. Right. I mean, congratulations again on the award. That is very impressive, my friend.
Thank you.
DBT 40, Delaware Achievers and Innovators Under 40. Bryce Fender, Wilminvest LLC. That's awesome.
Well, thank you, Garry. First founders.
Yeah, man. This is me doing something new, right? This is me growing, and this is me trying to create more access to entrepreneurs who want to take their first steps to get started. Right. People who need some inspiration. People who need to see that, hey, we're just regular people.
Yeah.
Right. They might see the awards, this is one of the problems actually of social
No,
media.
no, it is a problem.
Yeah.
I think I don't help with that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you're totally right.
Yeah.
I mean, because like, I remember back when we first started talking about Wilminvest, some social circles I was in kind of poke fun. Oh, you're gonna start a business? Oh, we'll see how that goes. Now a lot of those same people have been, hey, how's your business? How are things? Wow, great job. And
Right.
it's just, I mean, I think you do a great job at this in first jobs. There's gonna be people that kind of knock fun, kind of knock things, you know, but at the same time, that can be healthy, that can be good, because it brings back your sense of reality.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But then it goes back to the courage to continue.
Yep.
You know, it's do you even though people at first, you know, it's such a cliche saying, but it's true. Every, you know, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with like one step or whatever. When are you going to take that step? And maybe you already did take that step. You just have to put it in your mind. I already started.
Wow.
So all these things, whether they be failures, you know, like my first venture, it failed at the end. Then I found out a couple years later that it didn't really fail. But that the interscholastic student government still meets with the superintendent like 4 times a year. Like a collection of kids. Like it's not the vision I had in mind.
Yeah.
But the market
Yes.
shaped it to what it was supposed to be. But the point was, you just kept it going.
Bruh.
You as the entrepreneur took that leap.
Yes.
Took that courage.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's your impact. That's
Yeah.
your legacy. Regardless of if you continue to work with what you were doing in the past, right? You set it up for success, right? You inspired other people to see the mission and the values and say, yes, we want to be a part of something like this. We want to contribute to something like this, and we're going to keep it going. And I think that's absolutely amazing, because I've had experiences like that too, where I thought something failed, right? I actually thought that something was stolen from me. I thought it was stolen from me, and it kind of was.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I let it go. And I said, hey, if other people see so much value in that thing, let them do it. Let them do it. If my mission is still being executed on, right?
Yeah.
And I don't have to do the work in that capacity. I can free up my time and do things elsewhere. But I know that was a part of my legacy, and it still continues every single year today.
Right.
That means everything in the world.
No, it does. I mean, because as much as it may not have seemed like, you know, and not that you're a humble guy, Gary. Not that you're going out trying to, I need to get credit for everything I've done. That's not what I'm saying. But the point is, you don't know who remembers who was the one that started everything. You might find something out in 30 years.
Right.
You know, that might come back around full circle. I've heard so many speakers come and say similar things.
Yeah. Absolutely. Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you.
Of course, Gary.
This was
Appreciate
awesome.
everything.
This was awesome.
Thanks for having me.
So, any parting words, right, for anybody who's watching or listening, right? First-time entrepreneurs, people who are existing entrepreneurs and trying to figure out that next step, or just need some motivation to keep going, or people who are just confused and lost.
I'll look at the camera for this.
Uh-oh.
We create our own future by acting today as we wish tomorrow to be.
Wow.
And that means every day when you wake up, you're getting closer and closer to the man or woman that you will become. And it's up to you right now to make that choice. Am I going to change the world for good or for bad? And for how much better, for how much worse? Because everybody says, I want to go change the world. And some people think only a few people change the world. But the fact is, every single one of us changes the world every single day. So that starts with you. How much are you going to change the world? And I will leave you with that.
Sheesh. Tough. All right, my man.
Of course,
Appreciate
Gary.
you again. Thank you. Congrats on the award.
Sure,
Thank you, man. All right, well, we got a lot of glass. I mean, piling up. What
You
do
do.
you want to do?
That was fun.